a lot of newer research and research that I really cite in my own study and kind of confirms what I see just in my own interviews and in my classroom interactions is that a lot of Filipino American youth are really susceptible to experiences of anxiety and depression. One of these studies that is continuously cited in the research, whether from the early 2000s on to 2019, is the study from Diane Wolf from 1997. And for a lot of researchers who focus on Filipino American mental health, it was really pivotal because it said that 4 out of 10 adolescent Pinays experience an episode of suicide ideation at some point. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I chose to specifically focus on Filipino American adolescents, because time and time again, even though that interest in Filipino American mental health kind of wanes and goes over time, we continuously shows that they're at risk for depression, suicide ideation, substance abuse, teenage pregnancy, misconduct in school, and a lot of that is rooted in kind of the Filipino American experience. So intergenerational family dynamics, kind of demands of home life, that sense of internalized oppression. Yeah.
First of all, I want to say it highlights a lot of the values and the purpose of why students want to get a bachelor's degree, right? Or trying to get a master's degree. You see a lot of eccentric and eccentric values coming within it, meaning they're motivated by their family sacrifices, or they see something happening in the community and they really want to give back, or they're the first in their family and they just want to get a degree for the sake of getting a degree. But I think oftentimes too, when we have that motivation that's aided by other things, such as my parents sacrificed everything for me to be here, that's a lot of pressure, right? And I think a lot of Asian Americans experience that. As an immigrant, I came over here when I was 6 years old, and all I've seen in my life was my parents sacrificing for me to go to school. They work 12-hour jobs. They given up their relationships for me. We live in a small-ass house back in Southern California, all for me to go to college, and that's a lot of pressure. And that's a lot of pressure for me to do good. And so I think that exhibits, in my own personal experience, that exhibited a lot of mental health issues, because I was trying to be the golden child, the youngest son who is doing good in school and getting good grades and whatever. But really, that's a lot of pressure from my parents and from trying to do good for the community.